Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics. On our show today, we'll have the boys soccer coaches from Memorial, East Central, Edison, Booker T, and Rogers, and we'll have the girls coaches on from Memorial and Booker T. We also will have two longtime coaches and athletic administrators who will be retiring this spring. Philip Johnson, who is the Director of Athletics and coach at McLain High School, and Don Quinton, Middle School Athletic Director and coach at Webster High School, will be joining us. Stay tuned as we'll be right back with Philip Johnson, Director of Athletics at McLain. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our first guest today, longtime friend, great man, Philip Johnson, the athletic director, McLain's Titans, and he's retiring.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
Philip, we served together for 9 years. I really enjoyed that. You did a great job through the construction of a new facility on campus and keeping those things together. It's a lot of people don't realize the role of the athletic directors. It's so varied these days.
Right, right.
One minute you may be cleaning the dressing room, and the next minute you may be in court. It's just it's really something. But how long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business officially 38 years. Now, I started out as a substitute teacher, and I was fortunate enough to get a job with Academy Central when Academy Central was in Osage County. And we were a K through 8 school, and I was the 8th grade health and PE instructor.
There you go. Did you coach there?
Yes, I did. Actually, former OU coach Eddie Fields was the middle school coach, and I coached the elementary team.
I see.
And learned a little bit from Eddie Fields.
I bet.
So I had an opportunity to look and observe and pick up some things from some old veterans. Did you know he was a Harlem Globetrotter at one time?
I did not know
Eddie
that.
Fields was a Harlem Globetrotter.
I'll be.
So yeah, I watched him handle the ball and twirl the ball around.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, from Academy Central, I went to Will Rogers. And I got my first head coaching job at Will Rogers. Coach Don Undernear, who was my high school coach, came and picked me up and, do you want to teach high school? Well, yeah. Do you want to coach? Well, yeah. And after a year being Clifford Criddle's assistant in basketball, I was given an opportunity to be the head coach with the girls. And, I worked with Mike Bolton as an assistant with the boys, and like a lot of people who only coach boys were, well, I'm not sure about these girls. And man, after about a couple of weeks, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked. In my opinion, the group that I had, and I guess I can just base this on my group, they were focused, and I could get anything that I wanted to get out of them. If I told them to run a little bit faster, they'd run a little bit faster. They weren't worried about going to the WNBA at that time. So just to get past the practice is all they wanted.
It's interesting you say that, because I remember having coached both boys and girls, and my take always was that the sports that I coached, football and baseball for the boys, soccer and softball for the girls, the girls were more willing to learn what you taught them. The boys already thought they knew it.
They already knew it.
And so I thought, man, well, let's say, so you then you left Rogers and went to McLain.
I got an opportunity to coach at my old alma mater, and it was kind of different being there from a player to a coach. And I haven't looked back. Spent 23 years there.
That's great.
And every one of them, I can say, enjoyable. Some are more enjoyable than others, of course.
Right.
but nothing to complain about.
So when did you become the athletic director?
I became the athletic director in 2010 or 2011. I guess I'm gonna have to go back and check those records, but sometime.
I think you'd been there about a year when I got there. I got there in 12,
Okay.
February of 12.
So,
And I think it was your first year then, so yeah,
Okay.
11 probably.
2011.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it sure was great to be able to work with you, but as you pick out a couple of things that are very memorable for you during your career, your 38 years of education.
Well, that's kind of hard. You put me on the spot there. There are a couple of things. Most of them will be related to athletics, of course. I mean, I'm totally in there. Ball games where you were the underdog, of course, and you were able to beat some teams. And I can remember a year where we were totally the underdog. And at that time, Edison had a top-notch program with John Nita Ford and Booker T. Washington with Kennedy. And that year we were able to beat them both.
Oh, gee.
And, while they were highly ranked. And, most of my kids were, again, being able to teach them basketball and they took in everything that I told them. When we made a game plan for both of those teams, they followed the game plan. But more than anything, that particular group, they believed more than I believed, which is important.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is important.
Yeah, good thing.
And, some of those games, that team was pretty exciting. But all the teams, they bring something that's unique.
What about opening that new facility?
Oh, man, now that was big. That was big. You're anticipating and you're waiting. And finally they say, okay, it's yours. And you move in there, and I made sure that I shot the first basket.
There you go.
So for posterity's sakes, I'm the guy who made the first basket in this facility.
And we were able to sign that beam up there too.
And sign that beam. Yeah.
Well, Philip, congratulations on a great career. Glad you're here today, and good luck in retirement. It's a lot of fun, I can tell you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
It's really, really good. We'll have to play some golf sometime.
Little golf and grandkids.
Yeah, absolutely. When we come back, we'll have Don Quinton from Webster, who is also retiring this year.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hill look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Don Quinton, middle school athletic director and coach, who is retiring as well. This is the retirement show, I guess, Philip and you.
Yes.
Don, we're glad you're here, and congratulations on
Thank you.
retiring. I know it's sometimes bittersweet. You look back at all those things. So how long have you been in the business?
36 years.
36 years.
Yes.
What schools were you at during
I
that?
started out in Hume, Missouri with a high school count of 79 kids.
Oh, my goodness.
Stayed there 5 years. Took my last year, went to state quarterfinals with 6 girls. Smallest school in the state of Missouri. Upset a phenomenal Morrisville, who Coach Burnett used to be at SMSU, had come to see her play and sent the nicest letter and just congratulated our kids, and that was huge. So, and then I came back in and I was at Edmond Memorial for a year, and then Union, 9th grade for a year, and then went to Manford for 2 years, and then I came to TPS.
How many years at TPS?
This is my 28th and
28th
25th here at Webster.
Yeah.
So I love my school. That's for sure.
Well, it's unique. Webster is kind of like its own town over here. You know, we're on this side of the river. During that time, I'm sure that there were many things that were memorable. What's a couple of the most memorable things during your coaching career?
Probably the first year over here were state academic champs for softball, and that I take pride in that because I think athletics is not just about playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're students first, and so that was probably the top one. And then in 2000, I believe we had an all-state softball player, and that was huge for the school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was when we combined with Central, and so Pam White was over here,
Mm-hmm.
and she was an all-stater. And then opening a new gym was really nice because we played. Well, right now we're
the old gym.
Yes, so it was a nice upgrade, and I've worked with really good people, and I appreciate them.
I remember when I was at Union, the athletic director's office was in the far end of this building.
Mm-hmm.
J.V. Haney. And
Yes.
J.V., it's a long time friend of mine, forever and ever. But I remember watching our teams play Webster in the old Metro 7
Yes.
conference back in the day. We put that thing together back then. But any other memorable events during your career?
I just think being a part of some of these kids' lives around here has meant more to me than any accolades I could get. I have a former student who's an attorney in Houston who grew up here and had nothing, but just what she had in her to compete and to be better and to succeed. And you saw that when she played. So there's some players that I have a real heart for,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it's been nice. My daughter graduated from here. I brought her over, and she graduated from here, and so that's kind of special to me.
Oh
to
yeah,
have her
you
graduate.
bet. That's having the relationships with the student athletes is really, I think, a critical thing. I think sometimes younger coaches don't value that as much as they should,
Yeah.
because those kids are hanging on every word that the coach says.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's so important. With that always said, I wish that coaches that I hired would have their own kids first, so that they understood what the parent was going through and what the kid's going through when you have that kid in your supervision. So what are your plans in retirement?
I've got to find something to do with athletics. I know. I've been in, since I could walk. My dad coached baseball, and so I've got to find some, even if I have to go volunteer at TU and to keep a stat or something.
Yeah.
I want to do something like that. I think my mother's still alive. I want to travel with my mother
Mm-hmm.
and spend some time with her. And that's probably pretty much the most of it.
That'll be fun. That'll be a great time. I tell these guys all the time, it's great when you wake up and every day is Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to it.
It is. It's a good thing. It's also a good thing to be able to drop in and be a part of some things sometimes now and then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was telling someone the other day, the girls almost had me talked into not retiring one day because they were all like, "Coach, please, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go." And then I went to class right after that little visit, and I said, "Oh no, I'm going."
Well,
I'm too old.
Bill Haston wrote an article last April of when we started the search, and the first question he said, "Now, would you consider 1 or 2 more years?" I said, "Absolutely not."
Mm-hmm.
And when you make a decision,
Yes.
it's a decision.
Yes.
Well, Dawn, congratulations on a
thank
great
you.
career. We're glad you're here today, and good luck in retirement.
Thank you. I sure appreciate it.
And when we come back, we'll have Nikki West, who's the head boys coach at Memorial High School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have one of our favorite coaches, Nikki West, the head boys coach of the Memorial Chargers. Nikki, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I tell you what, this time of the year is always a great time because it's playoff week, and when you have a team that qualifies for playoff, it's even better.
It is.
So you're playing this year. Talk about your record and how you got to this point.
Okay. Well, we are 10-5. And obviously, playoffs are based off of district play. So we played some really good 5A non-district games, and then we went into district play after our tournament, and it went pretty well. We took a tough loss at McAllister, but then with our backs against the wall, we found a way to qualify. So we're excited for today. We're finally as healthy as we're going to get, which makes a big difference, and excited to have some fun.
Oh, no kidding. As you I will be talking to Mark Dover, your counterpart, later in the show. One of the questions I'm going to ask him, I'm going to ask you. You transitioned from girls to boys. How has that been?
It's been a lot of fun. At the beginning, there was a learning curve just because boys soccer moves so much quicker than girls soccer does. And so in-game coaching is more challenging, but the boys are just different. They don't need to know reasons behind everything. They just kind of go do it, and it's a lot of fun. So I've enjoyed it.
You had good leadership with your team?
Yeah, so we only brought 6 players back from last year's team. We had a lot of older players, and so we were a brand new team. And so kind of learning everything. So we depended on our returning players a lot this year.
Well, you go 10-15 though with new players. Are you young?
We will lose 3 to 4 seniors that are really impactful. Yeah, so we have a good core group coming back.
That's excellent.
And we hit the road a lot this year. So now we'll be at home against the Durants and Shawnees and McAllister. So
road trips.
Less traveling next year, which will be nice.
Durant trip is a killer.
It is long.
172 miles. I know exactly.
It's long, but it's nice because the girls play first. So for us, we get to go for a walk through campus as the girls are playing, and then we have the girls game to watch, and we're used to it. I think we've gone 2 of the last 3 years to Durant, so we're pretty used to it.
Well, as you get ready to look at the playoffs, how do you look at your opponent, East Central?
Well, we're pretty familiar with them. We played earlier in the year before spring break. So, I mean, they're always good. They're always extremely tough competition. Mm-hmm. I can't really remember the last time they didn't advance out of their first round of playoffs. So, I mean, our boys know what we're getting into. We know it's going to be a challenge, but we've worked all year to get where we are, and we feel like we deserve to be here. So, we're excited.
You're playing at East Central?
Yes.
At East Central. And you played on it before?
Yes, yeah. So this time we played them at our place earlier in the year, so now we'll go there. Which normally the kids are used to being at East Central because we play there usually once a year. But with a new group, some of them haven't even seen what East Central looks like. So it'll be a fun experience. Yeah,
it will be. It'll be neat. They've got a new facility going in over there. It's going to really be nice.
Basketball, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. As you look at Memorial, the future for boys soccer, how do you feel?
I'm really excited about it. I mean, it's definitely a process every single year because it's getting the kids to realize that they're students before they're athletes. It's getting them into the community. There's a learning curve every year, but I believe in the process and the system we have set up so that by the time we hit April, May, like the kids that we have, they're better than they were when they came in, which is great.
How's your junior high program?
It's pretty good. They have a new coach this year he cares a whole lot, and they've got kids coming through the system. And we send some of our high school guys to their games, and they sit on the bench and hang out. And so it's a good group. I mean, they all interact. They're familiar with each other. So
that's good.
Yep.
That's good. You keep those in the pipeline. I think that's the big thing.
Yes.
They go all over town, and that's not a good thing.
Right.
Keep them there. But so you feel pretty good about the future.
Yes.
And everything. Well, We're certainly glad that you made the playoffs and you had a good record. And it's good to see you again.
You too.
And good luck to you. And tell Nate we said hello.
I will.
We certainly miss him.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we'll have Connor Whitham, the head coach of the team they're going to play tonight, the East Central Cardinals.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have Connor Whitham, the head boys coach of the East Central Cardinals. Connor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's soccer time for the playoffs, and it's always good to be involved in the playoffs.
It is.
Yeah. Talk about your season. How's your season gone so far?
So we finished the regular season with a 10-2 record. We lost to Bigsby, who's a good team, 6A playoff team, and then we had a really close, hard-fought game against Rogers that went to penalty kicks all the way to the 8th shooter, and our guy hit the post, and we lost the game. And so it was one of those games that could have gone either way, but you know we've had a really, really good season.
That's fantastic. As you look at the playoff picture, of course, you've been there quite a few times, and that makes a lot of difference. I think the experience of your players playing at that level and going in. You open tonight on Tuesday night. Who do you play?
So we play Memorial, and they're a well-coached team. I have a lot of respect for Nikki and for Coach Dover, what they do at Memorial in their program. We played them earlier in the season, and it went to penalties, and we were fortunate to win in penalties. And so it'll be a hard-fought game. They're well-coached. They know us really well. We know them very well, so there's no surprises at all.
Two really good coaches and two really good teams. I think it should be a heck of a game.
It will be, and I think it's going to come down to who can be the most composed. These playoff games, they get intense and they get emotions run high from players to coaches, and so it'll be who can be the most composed, who can make the least amount of mistakes. I think that team will be able to be successful tonight. You know,
there's been a lot of conjecture across the country this year about officiating. How's your officiating been?
It's been good for the most part. There's been obviously bad calls, and there's been some officials that have made mistakes, but there hasn't been a time in any of the games we've played where I think the official cost us a goal or helped the other team get a goal or any of those things. And I always tell my guys, like, the official doesn't win or lose you a game. Your actions and what you do is what wins and loses you games. And so we never try to come down hard on officials because they're just trying to do a job.
You know, it's really a difficult thing as you look at that across the country, because there's a shortage of officials in every sport. And there are times they're talking about now that games are canceled because you don't have enough officials for the games. And that'd be a shame for the kids to have that. I've always said, though, soccer is very unique in that you have the same officials that call club soccer on the weekend that call high school soccer during the week, and what the kids get away with on the weekend they can't get away with during the week.
Extremely true.
Because they have more accountability and oversight with the OSSA, with the official. Unfortunately, the club soccer doesn't, and it doesn't teach our kids anything. No, I think it's in the wrong. Well, as you look at the playoff picture, you feel good about where you are.
I do. Every team is good. There's a lot of good teams out there this year on both sides of the state. I feel if we can win tonight's game, then we'll probably match up with either Glenpool or Bishop Kelly. And I think we match up well with both teams. I've seen both teams play. We played Glenpool and beat them about a week and a half ago. And so I think we're set up well. We're a very experienced team. We've been to state championship games. We've won district championships. East Central as a school has been to the playoffs for 18 straight years. So there's a lot of history. And I think it's just about being composed and trying to do what we can to win tonight, because that's all we're guaranteed is the game tonight.
Are your student athletes healthy?
Yes, we had a guy one of our better players, he's been battling an injury for about 3 weeks. And that week you get off between end of regular season and playoffs is great, because he was able to just sit last week, do some rehab with the trainers, sit. And he said the other day he was feeling about 90%, which is the best he's been feeling probably in a month. And I think he's a game changer for us. I think he scored 10 or 12 goals this year. He's a game changer. Yeah. And he wasn't healthy when we played Rogers, and he wasn't healthy when we played Glenpool. And so him being healthy is going to be a real big difference for us tonight.
What do you think about the future of your program?
The future is set up well. We always have 60, 70 kids come and try out. I have a lot of young players. We had a really good JV year this year. I've talked to the incoming ninth graders already at their junior high, and they seem excited to play. We have great coaches. We have a great administration who supports us. We have a great support system for our kids. And for me, like East Central is home. And so I'm going to continue to try to build the program and leave it better than I found it when I took over 6 years ago.
How's your junior high program?
They're doing really well. They lost a couple of games this year. But I think that a lot of that's just growing pains. They're learning how to play soccer. A lot of them haven't played organized soccer before. But they're a very talented team, and I'm looking forward to working with those guys.
Fantastic. Well, good luck in the playoffs, and hopefully we can have you back in 2 weeks with the state championship.
That's the goal.
Connor, thank you for being here. And when we come back, we'll have Jason Rogers, who's the head soccer coach of the Edison Prep High School boys.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Jason Rogers, the head boys soccer coach, Edison Prep. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's playoff time. It's a great time to still be coaching.
It's where all the games matter.
Absolutely. It's lose or leave town every time now.
Every time, pray not to leave this time.
Exactly. So let's talk about your season. How's your record?
We are 9-5. It's been, I wouldn't say it's an up and down year. I'd say it's more of an injury plagued year. We played Bishop Kelly this couple Fridays ago, and we were missing 5 or 6 starters. So it's been one of those where and I'm seniors. That's been it's a hurt because I want them to be a part of their senior year, and so missing, and I'm talking quite a few games, some since April 1st. It's been pretty hard, but our young kids have come up and surprised me and have fought well and helped us with results.
Qualify for the playoffs?
Yes,
yeah,
that's all we needed.
Fantastic, yeah. What do you account for the injuries? Is it freak things?
Yes, 2 ankles to our 2 senior captains. Like I said, one has missed since April 1st, the other one since April 12th, and they haven't played since. I'm hoping they're ready. I'm going to give them that chance, even under probably not 100%. But yeah, I'd say I'd equate it to just some couple freak accidents, ankles.
Unlucky.
Yes.
Unlucky.
Very unlucky.
Sometimes even the presence of those, if they're not 100%, makes a difference to the rest of the team.
Yes. They, like I said, those 2 that have ankle injuries that haven't been playing for the last couple weeks are both our captains. So we've had substitute captains the last couple weeks. Thankfully, we have a good core group of juniors and sophomores that can lead and have been playing, especially on our team last year that lost in the state finals. lots and lots of minutes last year. So it's nothing new to them. And they are, different kind of leaders, younger leaders, but they've understood the responsibilities since their 2 seniors have been out.
Well, that's good that you're building for next year too. That the progression so if you get those back, do any of your kids have post-secondary aspirations to be able to play?
Yes, both my captains are together. I would say they're pretty much best friends. They're both going to NOC up in Tonkawa to play this next year. So I also have another senior that we're still on the search, hoping that we can maybe find another college for him. Maybe even the same college, go up there with his other 2 friends. But yeah, I've got a couple this year. It's not a very big senior class. We only have 5. And one of our seniors is our goalkeeper who broke his leg also on April 12th with one of our other seniors. Yeah, it was great. It was a weird year, but so most of my team is young underclassmen. So yeah, we're looking forward to the end of this year, hopefully doing as well as we can, and then I've got a lot for the future as well.
What a great experience though for those young kids to be able to step in and qualify for the playoffs. To have that playoff experience until you've been to that level where it is lose or leave town. It's a different mentality.
Yeah, I think we learned that last year in the state final when I had 15 seniors. 11 of them started or played, at least half a game. And, I still believe that we were better, but that experience that Bishop Kelly had for 4 straight state titles, it's just another game for them. For us, it was a crowd.
Right.
You've got multiple schools there. I mean, when it's a packed house, it's different when you're playing in front of your friends and family, and then all of a sudden there's 2,000 people there.
You've got to be able to handle that, and if you haven't been in the experience of that, you don't know.
We saw it.
Yeah.
Our kids saw it, and so that's the good thing about this group this year is, they've been there. They've played in the biggest game that they can possibly play in high school soccer, and hopefully that translates.
Well, that's good. Future, how's the future look?
Future looks really good. Bunch of young kids, have a big class of freshmen, good class of sophomores that surprised me this year. And we have we have a middle school program that has done quite well. Our girls have been much better. Our high school, and you want both programs to succeed. It just makes for a totality of a better program.
Well, it's a good night too when you go out. You get 2 wins and move on down the road. You bet.
Everybody's happy.
Well, Jason, good luck in the playoffs. Glad you're here today, and hopefully we can talk about some success in 2 weeks.
Yes, it'd be nice. Thank you for having me.
And when we come back, we'll have Kevin Cortain, who is the head boys soccer coach at Booker T. Washington.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These 2 get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Kevin Cortain, the head boys soccer coach at Booker T. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Boy, I tell you what, soccer season is over. We got to the playoffs, and it's playoff time. How was your record this year?
Overall, we are 10-4, district 5-2.
5-2 in the district and qualified for the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Who do you play in the playoffs?
We are playing Jinx tonight at 8 p.m.
Jinx at Jinx?
At Jinx.
At Jinx. Have you played them this year?
Yes, we played them three weeks ago, something like that. We lost 3-0. Tough game.
Tough game, yeah. Did you play there or at your place?
We played at home.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, played at home.
So you'll be playing at
Jinx,
Jinx on Tuesday night, and of course then the winners you play again on Friday, and the playoffs just continue on, don't they?
Just continue.
Talk about your season this year, 10-4, 5-2. How do you feel about that?
We feel good. we lost games that we shouldn't have, but it was always a learning curve. With emphasis of strengthening our team as a whole instead of individuals. So I think that helped us during the season, and hopefully it helps us during the playoffs.
Well, you bet. As you went through the season, do you have all your players healthy? Anybody injured?
We've unfortunately had 2 ACLs this season, Diego and Landon. However, most boys are coming back from injury, so our bench is strong.
Should be in good shape then.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay. What do you look forward to? How can you beat Jinx?
Ooh, can't tell you all my secrets, but we're gonna surprise people. We've strengthened our midfield, also our attack as well. We went from a 1 up front. We're gonna go for a 2 tonight and see if that can help us in our search for victory.
Mm-hmm. Is your team young or old?
Collective. So we have 4 seniors starting, 5 juniors, and maybe a freshman.
I see. Are there seniors? Are they capable of playing at the next level?
Yes.
College?
So we have Ethan Gordon, who committed to DePaul University up in Chicago, D1. And then the rest of the boys, they're still looking.
I see.
They're still looking. But
Good.
yes.
Well, it's early yet for that.
Very early.
Some of those commitments. So, how did you get to Booker T?
How did I get to Booker T? I was at Claremont last year for 2.5 years as an assistant. I basically got a call one day saying, "Hey, do you think you're ready for the next level?" And I basically jumped to the challenge. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you like Booker T?
Oh, I love it. It's a big challenge. Being the head coach is different from the assistant. I got more responsibility. However, I get more reward out of it. I'm allowed to have more of a say, which has proven good for me this year. So.
Mm-hmm. And you have good quality kids.
Yes, excellent kids, academically, physically, athletics. They're all round players, the whole package. So yes, I'm very excited about the talent and the level of players I have.
What do you think about the future of Booker T boys soccer?
I see a ring. I see a championship. Hopefully this year, if not next year. That's our main focus. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be crowned #1. So that is what we strive for.
Who do you think the team to beat this year, other than the Hornets?
Jinx.
Jinx?
I think Jinx and maybe Edison North, but Jinx is.
So you could eliminate that problem tonight.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. That's the goal. We're trying to do the biggest upset of the season.
That would be an upset, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
Well, it's always, what I always found in the playoffs was that the good players are probably going to play good. It's that player that you don't realize that has that game that is better than it's ever been that makes the difference. And that comes from that middle group in there that come to practice every day, work hard, not a lot of talent, but they have that game.
Yeah.
That makes the difference. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
To you and the Hornets, and I hope you do defeat the Trojans.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to have Mark Dover, who's the head girls coach at Memorial High School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Mark Dover, the head girls coach of the Memorial Chargers. Mark, what a soccer season, huh?
Yeah, it's been great.
Well, it's been good to be outside and not too many masks and all that good stuff. Well, let's talk about your season. How's your season going, you think?
We've had a lot of ups and downs, to be expected. We finished second in our district, overall record of 7-7. So right there at 500, qualified for playoffs, and we're hoping to make a run.
You talked about earlier, before we went on, about the balance in 5A girls, and obviously you're 7-7, but you get to host, so it is very balanced, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. 5A on the east side, 5A is almost as even as I've ever seen it. You know, you've definitely got Bishop Kelly. They finished number 1 in our district. We finished right behind them, but 2, 3, and 4 in our district were really even this year, with McAllister and Sepulpa finishing 3rd and 4th.
Mm-hmm. So that means it's anybody's to get to the final game.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right, that'd be great. So your opponent this evening is
the Grove Ridge Runners.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team, really well coached. I met with their coach last week at a meeting, and you know he really cares about his team. So it should be a battle tonight, but a good game.
Good game. Talk about some of your outstanding players.
We're graduating 8 seniors. One girl is actually graduating a year early, so it's good for her. Testament to her character. We've got the 7 other seniors. We've got 2 that are signing to play college soccer at Northern Oklahoma College in Tonkawa. That's Carolina Arriaga and Celeste Maldonado. It's just a really great group of girls that have really overcome a lot of obstacles throughout the season and have been putting in work since last summer. When we do our little summer workouts, they've busted it since the beginning of the school year, really, and their hard work's finally paying off.
How, talking about your personal coaching, making that transition from boys to girls, how's that been?
I thought it would be a little less stress, but that's not true at all. Our girls are so committed every day. It's, have you uploaded the game film yet from last night? Do you have any notes for us? Can I ask you questions? And that's what you want as a coach. You want them to be eager to learn more about the sport, more about their position, more about the team. And this year it's exceeded my expectations. Honestly, we've set a really high standard, and they're starting to meet that standard and trying to excel in what our goals were at the beginning of the season.
Oh, that's fantastic. What about as you look at the future of Memorial Girls Soccer? What do you think?
I don't know what to expect. This year has been unprecedented. This is the best season the girls program has had in at least the last 22 years. It's the best finish. I'm hoping that I can continue to play a part in that, and I'm just eager to put them in the best position possible to succeed.
Good. How's your junior high program?
It's actually, I've gotten to watch them a few times this year. The girls seem eager to learn, which is great. Their last game is tomorrow. It was supposed to be yesterday, but rain canceled that. I'm hoping to be out there. I want to talk to them beforehand, get them information about summer workouts, the 8th graders, and try to pull them into our program as soon as possible.
That's always, I think, a critical thing. Get the young ones and keep them in the pipeline moving up there. Well, in the last minute, as the athletic director, you've got a full plate, right?
Oh yeah. We just finished softball. We were playing slow pitch 6A softball. They had a great season. Got the girls together. Baseball's finishing. Well, they have regionals this week. Track, we'll hopefully qualify some kids for state, which will be next week. And it's been a really successful school year in terms of athletics.
Well, that's fantastic. Winning a state championship never hurts, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And I guess you're going to the Capitol tomorrow.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, glad you're here. Good luck in the playoffs. Hopefully we can come back and see a gold ball sometime.
Thank you.
That'd
Hopefully.
be great.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll have Bart Hill, who's the head boys coach at Will Rogers High School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hill look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have Bart Hill, who is the head boys soccer coach, Will Rogers Ropers. Bart, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Well, I tell you, we're in that time of the year that everybody likes to get to. It's the playoff time. Let's talk about your record to this point and how you view the playoffs for Rogers.
Well, we're 13-2 on the season, and we were fortunate to go undefeated in district, and we went 7-0 in district. So we were able to get the 1 seed in the playoffs, and we're excited to host tonight at Rogers, and we're hosting Durant. So we're excited about our prospects for a run at the state.
That's great, yeah. But hosting at home, and that's always a plus,
right?
And how has that been to play at home in the quote new stadium?
Oh, it's been nice. The amenities in there, especially the hospitality room. Just being able to house a lot more fans than they didn't have anything before.
Right.
So it's a beautiful stadium.
Well, and of course, it appears that in the next couple of years, the grandstands on the west side will be completed along with restrooms and concession and everything.
And new turf, I believe, too.
And new turf, yeah. It's time for that turf. When I got here in 12. There were 5 new turfs, and so it's been 10 years, and so it's about time.
It's about time.
Those will be replaced, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic. Have the lines inlaid and everything, which will be good. Well, talk about your team a little bit. Highlight of the season?
Probably the East Central game. That was definitely one of our toughest games, but the experience that we gained from that game, having to go through regulation, tied at the end of regulation. We went 2 extra periods and actually were a man down for 15 of those extra 20 minutes and was able to hang on and win in PKs. And I remember telling my team after that game that this will help us in the playoffs.
Well, perpetual playoff team East Central has been over the years, and to be able to win that game. Was that a home game?
It was at East Central.
At East Central,
yeah,
so that's even more.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a big moment for them.
Get more points for those road wins, don't you? Well,
more
that's
stress
great.
too.
Talk about some of your players. Who are some of your stars?
Steven Castro, he's my center back, and we just had our all-state meeting, and he was fortunate enough to get most of the votes for a defender, and he's well known. He's a tall, well-built guy, so everybody knows he stands out on the field. But he's been a rock for us back there defensively. One of the reasons why we haven't given up many goals this season. He's a big part of that. And then another player that does a lot for us in the midfield is Santos Ramos. He's well known around the area. He plays club ball, and he's kind of the engine for the midfield and does a lot of wonderful things for the team.
Do you have any kids that will be able to play at the next level?
Absolutely. Santos being one of them. Steven, if he pursues that, and there's a lot of kids on that team that if they pursue that route, they can absolutely play at the next level, and some of them are getting interest.
Good.
So
good.
yeah,
being recruited now, that's good. As you look at the future of Rogers soccer, what do you think?
It's strong, and I can attest to that by our middle school program. So far, has not lost this season. They've had 1 tie and all other wins. Our JV team did not lose. They had 1 tie. The rest were wins. And then this is in district. and then the varsity, of course, went undefeated in district. So
yeah.
that tells me that it's a strong program.
Well, you got them going in the right direction, and that's
right.
really, really good. Well, Coach, thanks for being here today,
Thank
and good luck in the playoffs.
I appreciate it.
And hopefully we can have you back for the last show with the gold ball.
That'd be great.
We'll be right back when we come back with Jovan Petrov, the head girls coach at Booker T. Washington.
Hey Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Jovan Petrovic, the head girls soccer coach of the Booker T. Washington Hornets. Welcome to the show, Jovan.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your season. We had a lot of rain this season.
Yes, right. And
training, I'm sure, was a little bit of a difficulty for you, but how was your record?
Good so far. It's been a good season for us. We had some tougher opponents and some good games in front of us, but overall, I'm satisfied with the season. We were struggling with some injuries at the beginning of the season, but right now things are looking good and we're ready for playoffs.
Good. So you qualified for the playoffs?
Yes. We play tonight at Union High School. We already played Union and we lost 2-1. It was a really good game. Again, very, very good opponent with some great individual players. So I'm excited and it's going to be a good game.
When you played them early, did you play them over there or at Booker T?
We played at Booker T.
So you'll be playing on their soccer pitch over there, yeah. That is a nice facility they have.
It is a nice facility.
As you get ready to play, you say you're well, no injuries or anything?
Well, we are still struggling with a couple players that would start, but unfortunately they wouldn't be able to play. On the other side, the roster is looking good. The players that we can count are all ready to go. So
good. We'll talk about some of your star players.
Some of our stars. I think the core of our team would definitely be our goalkeeper Kalia Thomas, along with center back Leah Rayleigh and Marley Moss. So they're our captains and definitely the players that you can rely on, that you can count on, and will give you a good tactical and then physical opportunities in the games as well. So
are they experienced players? Are they seniors, juniors?
Yes, they're all seniors, well experienced. Both Leah and Marley play at TSC, the original in the original teams. Kalia Thomas plays for WSA, so definitely good group of captains.
Are these student athletes that will be able to play beyond high school?
Yes, they are committed to college right now. Marley is committed to University of Central Arkansas, and Kalia is committed to Seminole State. So definitely I'm looking forward for their college career.
You bet, that'll be great. That's always good when they can extend their education and their playing career. That's fantastic. So you play Union, you've played them, you've lost 2-1. Should you win that game, then where do you play after that?
After that, well, depending on the results tonight, the next opponent would be Broken Arrow most likely. But going back to the game against Union, the first time we played, it was very windy, so the conditions were kind of on one side of the field. So like the team that had the win first half was in a better spot, but honestly, I just hope the conditions will be fine for tonight's game, so we have a good match.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. You have to play the two largest schools in the state back to back.
Yes.
Broken Arrow's the largest, and Union's the next one.
Yes.
Well, that's how the playoffs are. You know,
Right.
When you're 6A, that's how it is. So, how does the future look for Booker T soccer?
Looks good. Booker T is a great school. So when it comes to our freshman group, we had a lot of freshmen this year, and some of them start for us. So that is also always a good thing. You kind of want to invest in your freshmen so they can be even better when it comes to their senior or junior season. Again, very good academic school. So when it comes to eligibility and stuff, we usually don't have a lot of problems. So future Booker T is always good.
That makes it easier to know you're not going to have somebody ineligible because of academics. It really is. The years I coached, I was always a better coach when I had smarter players.
Right. It makes you a better coach as well.
Well, Jovan, good luck.
Thank you so much.
We hope you can continue through the playoffs and have some success. And we'll come back with the closing remarks.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Hope you enjoyed today's show. We wish Don Quinton from Webster and Philip Johnson McLain, who are retiring at the end of this semester, good luck in their retirement. We also wish our soccer teams to have success in the OSSA playoffs. I also want to remind you about the 10th annual Hall of Fame banquet to be held at the Doubletree Hotel at 61st and Yale. You can make reservations for that by calling Lisa Norman in the athletic department. The golf tournament at the LaFortune Golf Club will be on June the 3rd, the day after the Hall of Fame, and you can make your reservations there by contacting the pro at LaFortune Golf Course. Call Lisa Norman for your tickets to the Hall of Fame at 918-746-6453. Make your reservations today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our last show of the year.